blows my mind, and we're live, by the way, but it blows my
Yeah.
mind that he went so long with working a job.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just like, and in hindsight, I look back to when I was like 23, and I'm like, maybe I should have gotten a job as a trucker and made 100K a year, and then
Yeah.
also ran my Amazon book business.
Yeah.
Because dude, I was basically doing that. Like I was driving across the country,
Yeah.
sleeping at truck stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
during the day. I was
Yeah.
going and like,
You were doing the work already.
yeah, maybe I
It's
should have just gotten a
yeah.
six-figure salary because, like, when you start a business as a complete like beginner and you have
Mm-hmm.
no experience and it's an inventory-based business, like it's stressful when you first start. So like
Oh
I do
yeah.
not blame people like Joji who keep their job for so long. But if
Yeah.
I was making like if my net worth, was approaching 1 million and I'm working as a high school teacher, I probably would have had that thought of quitting like way earlier, like 24 years old. But to each their own. It just shows how different people are.
I worked in the government for years before I decided to go ahead and quit because my government job was just so easy. So
Yeah,
it was literally just kind of show up to work and do a little bit of work, here and there, and that was it. Like it was just really great money. But the amount of freedom with books is just so much better than the government job that I was like, yeah, what I just got to quit this and just go all in with books. So yeah.
yeah. So I mean, entrepreneurship is great, and it's great
Yeah.
when you're pumping out these 100, 200, 300K years. But man, um, having a job, I understand why people do that. So anyway, welcome to the channel. For everyone tuning in, this is Victor Galejos. He did 155,000 profit last year,
That's right.
flipping books, seasonal books mainly on Amazon,
Mhm.
which is a pretty safe way of doing it because you're buying a product that you know is going to sell and have increased demand at a certain point in time. What he does is very similar to what Joji Davenport teaches, except you're more focused on seasonal flips,
Right.
which a lot of people like that because it has like a level of safety to it
That's
and
right.
predictability.
Mhm.
And so if you just want to talk a little bit about that for complete beginners coming in here, and then I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll have some people tune in who have some more advanced questions.
Well, Roman, thanks for having me on. I have picked seasonal books, and that's why I kind of focus in on those. First off, for me, it's the easiest to teach and the easiest to make money from. What I tend to do are buy books or find books that have seasonality to them. So, like for instance, a ton of Christmas books. I love to go on in Christmas because most people understand Christmas books. They understand that there's a demand, November, December for Christmas books, and then the rest of the season or the rest of the year, they're just dead, right? So like February, March, April, really most people could care less about these seasonal books. So go and buy those type of books on Amazon. So I'm looking for like the night before Christmas on Amazon in like March or April. I'm buying that type of book for like maybe at most $7 or $8. And then what I'm doing is looking on Keepa to make sure that in October, November, December timeframe, that book will go to like $40 or $50. So as long as I see that happening, I'll go and buy that book. Have my prep center ship it to Amazon. It sits there. And then some people are like, well, a book like that, there's storage. And yes, there is. There's about 4 cents a month for storage for book. And so you're buying the book for $7. It's 4 cents in storage. So maybe altogether it's going to be $7.20, right? And then you sell this book for $40 in December. And then next year, that same thing is going to happen again, right? The book is going to be dead in like March or April. Buy that book again and then sell it in December. And then you just kind of get a ton of books just like that in your inventory. And they're almost like evergreen books. You just keep buying the same books every year. And once you get a really good list, that's really all you have to do. Like I'm spending most of my time now helping other people.
Checkmate flips in the
Let's
house.
go. Seth's coming to the Books and Beyond conference, so I'm
Yes, he
excited. And
is.
he just posted about it, so I
Yep.
appreciate him for that.
Yeah, I definitely did not threaten him to make that post.
But yeah, that's what I do. I just have an evergreen list of books, and now I'm helping out a lot of people try to do the same thing, right? Because there are so many books out there. Matter of fact, Joe. Okay, so 2 days ago I had a $4,000 day, like $4,500 day, and I was really excited about it. And Joji had a $3,000 day, and they were like, "Hey, let's go see what books we sold that were like mirrored each other." We found one book out of like over 100 books we sold that day that like overlapped each other. So the vast majority of books that are out there, we won't even see each other. And that's why I just believe, both of us believe that like it's not saturated at all. There's over 100 million books out there, and tons of books sell every day.
Yeah. What advice would you have for people? I'm sure we have people tuning in here, and
Sure.
I kind of surprise attack my audience with this live, so I appreciate everyone who's tuning in right now. But there's probably at least a few people who have enrolled in the Amazon to Amazon Masterclass, or maybe they've just followed my content over the last 2 months and seen a lot of the online book arbitrage stuff.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for somebody who's like, all right, I'm set on this, I'm enrolled in the masterclass. What do I need to do?
First off, I mean, the most important thing to do, take action. Go and at least just start buying books. You're really not going to be, it's really difficult to lose with books because the profit margins are so high. So read a few, watch a few of Joji's videos, and then go and start buying a few books. It's okay if you're going to lose even on half of them, because the profit margins are so high, you're still going to make a profit even if you lose on half of them. So feeling like that, like you don't even have to make an 80 on this test. You only have to make like a 50 or 60 on this test and actually make a profit. So knowing that, go in and just start buying some books that you see that pattern that Joji explains, or the seasonal pattern that I'm explaining, and that's it. Just go in and take action. Get a few $100s and start buying books and get that proof of concept and go from there. And then if you're starting to like worry about that, I mean, watch Avery's channel, and there's a lot of people who've actually done this already, have repeated our success, are making like 40% ROI. And so just know that what we're doing is actually real. We're actually helping people get financial freedom, and that's the ultimate goal here, right? We're buying books to get all that financial freedom. So that's basically the number one thing. Take action. Just go buy some books. It's that easy.
We got somebody here. I think they're asking a bulk book question.
Yeah.
They said, we're not finding many over $10, but we're paying like 39 cents a pound. If you're not finding many books over $10, get rid of that source. It's a crappy source. Move on.
Yeah.
Don't try to monetize a source as a bunch of $10 profit books. Trust me, that's how you're going to make this business hell. You have to have a good source as, books that you're consistently finding for $20 plus. And if you don't have that, you can't make a bad source a good source.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of online arbitrage. Like you and your brain and the data and the work you put in kind of make your source. Like if you use BookMine or Keep a Product Mind or whatever and you have the right criteria set and you're looking for the right things, and you get to like build your own palette of books. You get to build your own game board,
So when there's a library sale and you have like 10,000 books and people get really excited about that, you can basically, with like one click of a button, sort out the 10,000 books at a library sale and basically get down to like the 400 books that are really valuable, and then just sort and look through those books. That's what we're doing on our online arbitrage. We're literally just filtering out everything that you're having to scan every second, right? Scan and go all through all the reds. We're pushing a button and getting all the greens, and then deciding from there which books to buy. Yeah,
definitely. And Checkmate Flip says much easier to make adjustments from a place of action than a place of non-action.
That's so true.
If you're in your head, you're dead. If you're thinking about, what am I going to do, this, that, and like you're just thinking of all the what ifs versus like actually going in motion, even if it's the wrong way, then you can make an adjustment to the correct path. But you gotta take some sort of action. And I'm super proud of Seth. He's doing consistently 5 figures profit a month. He started thrifting years ago and made the transition to eBay to Amazon. And he's buying items online, flipping them, and doing pretty good. So he'll be at Books and Beyond Con. Get your tickets at booksandbeyondcon.com. Victor will be there as well. We have a crazy speaker lineup to Books and Beyond Con.
We have a ton of people showing up and speaking at this event. It's pretty crazy. It's gonna be our first year, but it's really, we're kind of gleaming a lot of experience from the Miami Sellers Conference. So we're getting that started, and
I get your tickets here, guys.
Conference.
Go check out the speaker lineup. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. If you're a bookseller, any size bookseller, like there's a group text going on with a few of my friends. One's a millionaire. Actually, they're all millionaires. And one does 5 million a year in textbook sales. So he'll be there. And then just invited a few more people. One kid, he's my age, so he's 27, 28. and he is doing. I mean, he's probably doing 10 million a year.
Yeah. Wow.
He likes
Like
to
most
to
people
stay
outsell
private,
me, right?
but
Yeah.
he's coming. He'll be in there.
Yeah.
Got a lot of people. I just went to Mexico with a bunch of booksellers for a bachelor party, and a lot of them are going to be there. I'm trying to get the other guy to come, but he's doing like 400K a month. David Chung will be there. It was his
Yeah.
bachelor party. So, I mean, this isn't just a small fry book selling event. Like we have people. We got Vishal Muti. If you guys look at the speaker lineup on this list, he did 1.6 million profit last year, about 9
Yeah.
million sales. So, and then you got the online book arbitrage guys. You got Joji, Victor, and I'm sure I'm excited to meet some of these people that just don't like social media.
There's a
And
ton of those people out there that just want to
yeah,
come to this event, but actually not show up on camera.
yeah,
And that's
and they're
unfortunate,
doing
but
like crazy
they're,
numbers. Like,
yeah, they are. Yeah.
yeah,
You know, actually outselling me. So, but they refuse to come on camera. They don't, want to see stuff like that. They don't even want to post about it. So
yeah.
that's I guess it's just a different breed of
It's
people.
kind of the normal thing to do, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think kind of what we do is abnormal. Like, if you're making money in a business, you don't tell the whole world about it. You know, like
it's true. Yeah.
I was at my uncle's house for Thanksgiving a few years ago, and I had already been posting my journey on social media
Mm,
enough to
yeah.
where like people kind of knew that I was sharing my business. But I remember him saying he wasn't thinking about it, but he runs a tree business. It's a family tree business we have, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Why would I share? Why would I tell my competition what I'm doing?" Like he was talking about telling someone like at a gas station like how much he made on a tree or something, and I'm like sitting there thinking like that's all I do is like tell people. Like I literally invite people on my YouTube channel and then just have them dissect how they're making money. It's like it's a little counterintuitive, but
Some people think that way, and it's but for some markets it is. But there's just so many books out there. I don't have any issue sharing all
yeah,
my like leads today. I can tell you the books that I bought today, all the books I sold today, and really you're not going to affect my business at all. Like I've been
exactly.
doing
Yeah.
that for years, and
And the
so
relationships you'll build by helping
yeah,
people is, they'll come back to you, they'll pay for book mine,
yeah,
they'll give you leads,
that's
they'll,
right,
who knows down the road, we might do a real estate deal together, you and I, or
right.
like you never know what's going to come of it, but now you have friends in business, and that's way more valuable than not
Yeah, I
having.
mean, Romer, we became friends because of it, right? We both decided to come out, like, and actually start helping out people. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. So Vegas guys, booksandbeyondcon.com. And then we have what criteria goes in after filtering out 100 books, like you said before.
So
What,
okay, so I think we're talking about the library sale, right? So we're like, let's just say we have 10,000 books and we're pulling that up into Keepa. We're looking for books that sell at least for like $36, that sell at least like 3 or 4 times a month, and possibly, also make sure that they're not counterfeit, right? So if you can find that, and that the book is under say $10 currently, those are great books to purchase. So that's how I get from the 100 books down to maybe 20 or 30, but I'm buying about 30 books a day. So don't think I'm, once I get to the 100, I'm still buying quite a bit of those books. So yeah.
will there be any online streams available to purchase for those who can't make it to Books and Beyond? Currently, no. We're not thinking about doing that, right?
Yeah, we're thinking about selling the recordings afterwards, but not
Yeah.
live stream it. Yeah.
Yeah. We are selling the recordings afterwards. So if you guys
Mm,
purchase them before,
right.
you'll get them at a cheaper price too.
That's right.
Since I was pricing too high, I've been repriced using Scott IQ price. Would you say it's a decent way? You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So you have to basically study Keepa. Once you study Keepa, you'll understand the intrinsic value of the book, and so you'll be able to price set your minimum and maximum price. Like when you buy a book is when you have the control, right? Once you have the book in your inventory, then it's kind of like trying to figure out a way to sell that book. But before I buy the book, I already have it like a plan of how much I'm going to sell it for, the minimum price and the max price, and then once I get it, I'm just going to execute that plan. So
Yeah, and then this person's also a thrifter, it sounds like.
okay,
So just make sure you're sending in good books. Like starting out, yeah, Scott IQ price is good, which is essentially the same as GoToLister's smart pricing.
yeah.
But
What price would
you'll
you
learn fast. But
recommend?
I would even listen to Victor's advice and learn Keepa because
Yeah,
so many beginners they make the mistake of just sitting in a bunch of
I
crap books.
know.
Maybe it's a $20 book, but it's got an E score of 1, never gonna sell. Or you know, it's a $10 book with, you know, 700,000 rank, and like it's not really worth the risk to load your inventory up with books
Yeah.
that don't have a high likelihood of selling. Like you want books that are $20 plus,
Hmm.
generally like lower in sales rank for the thrifting model. So I think a lot of people, when they start doing online arbitrage books, they learn Keepa, and then it changes their perspective in the store when they scan an item. And
Yeah,
they can,
that makes him a way better seller. It
yeah.
really just learning Keepa.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when I started doing traditional online arbitrage, like
Mm.
just flipping regular items, like I felt like I already knew it because of book online arbitrage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there was differences in like categories, stuff like that, but more or less, like I understood Keep, I understood price history. So it's a good skill to have just on Amazon in general to be able
Yeah,
to.
it's something you have to learn, even if you're thinking about going outside of books, say in a couple of years, because some people do that. But you know, you got to learn Keepa first. Once you understand Keepa, like if you're able to be successful in book arbitrage, you can go and be successful on regular online arbitrage pretty easily because those skills transfer. So, you know, learn it in book arbitrage because the ROI here is just so much higher. So you can make mistakes and still make money. And then if you want to transfer out of it, yeah, go ahead. But George, what's up,
He
man?
says we actually went in this after 2 years of doing clothes, shoes, etc. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know clothing can be a profitable business too, like with donation bids and stuff. I've had friends talk about that. E-score below 10, what minimum price do you want? It depends. I mean, Victor, you're
Mhm.
probably flipping $100 books below
Oh
10
yeah.
e-score.
So you know, I don't really depend so much on the e-score, right? And what I'm looking for is how many times the book is going to sell during the season I'm looking for. So say for instance, all my Christmas books, I don't know, I don't have an e-score system with me, but I imagine all my Christmas books right now would be zero, right? Because they are not selling right now, so they'd all be at zero for the last like 6 months they haven't sold. But during Christmas they do. So that's why it's really important to like look at a Keepa chart and realize, oh, during Christmas this book pops off and go and buy those type of books. So I'm not necessarily looking at the e-score, but if I have an e-score of 10 and say like the last I'm looking at Keep and the book sells for like $40, I'm definitely going to try at the higher price point because an e-score of 10 is pretty good. So I would at least try to price at the higher price, like higher prices of what they has sold for in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys have topics you want us to cover, we're about to shoot some YouTube videos, so comment them below. I think a good video would be best criteria, something about filters for online arbitrage books, because people always ask that.
That's good.
Best filters. Online arb. All right, let's see. What if it doesn't have a particular season it relates to?
So I mean, then it's like, okay, I guess go look at on the Keepa chart, go look at the last 90-day average, right? Because you can put that in the stats. There's a little stats at the bottom of the Keepa chart. Look at the 90-day average and sell a little bit higher than the 90-day average if the e-score is that high. So I guess that's a quick way. If you're not really wanting to look at a Keepa chart, you can just look at the bottom part and look at the last 90 days and the price, say maybe 10% higher than that as your starting price on Amazon.
We found a Warcraft book 2 days ago, and it was popped up on Scout IQ for 145, but lowest was 98 or something. Would you price high or low if going by Scout IQ? We need to know a little bit more information than that.
Yeah.
Like, what's the sales rank? What's the?
Yeah.
You're saying the low price was 98. Looks like the FBA price was maybe 145. So it really depends on like if the e-score is healthy, if it's up there,
Yeah.
then you can price it higher. But if it's a low e-score, then you probably just want to match low price and move it. Hypothetically speaking, what would your game plan be if Amazon deactivated your account? Well, that's not a hypothetical question for me. This has happened to me multiple times. You just got to give Amazon what they want. You got to give them the plan of action. And the safe thing about doing online arbitrage books, which is why I'm so excited about this, is if Amazon ever comes to you and they're like, hey, we think your book's counterfeit. We want to see authenticity for this book. You can literally give them an invoice from their sales channel.
Yeah.
And how are they going to say no to that? I mean, maybe they will. It's Amazon. I wouldn't put it past them, but they have not yet. According to Victor, I asked him the other day,
Right.
has any of your students over the last 6 years ever not been able to make it past
Yeah.
an IP or counterfeit claim with an Amazon invoice? And he said no. So,
Zero. Yeah. I not documented. No one's ever told me about it. Plus, I've been working with these students quite a long time, and they're still selling books, right? So it's never happened. And you like when you go and look at a book that you purchased or anything on Amazon, go and click on it. It says it's a invoice. So when they ask you for invoices, just give them back their own invoice. And I think that's why it's so much safer to do online arbitrage with books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came across a bunch of history material yesterday. Nextdoor is my buddy. Nice. Nextdoor is a great app, guys. If you go to the Nextdoor app, post, I will pick up your books for free. People will hit you up. You can go to their house, scan their books, or pick up all their books. And then that's a great way to make a few $100 profit on a weekend.
So there was a guy in my Facebook group was asking about whether or not he should purchase this pallet of high school books. And apparently other people told him not to because it was, they're like duds, they thought. And he decided to buy them anyway. He decided to have the guts to buy them. And then he's like, okay, based on Scout IQ, all these are duds. And he just took a picture of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, man, you have like some gold here. There's like these teachers editions. They're like $80 books. This is the $40. And so I was just like circling them for them in this picture, telling them, I don't know why this e-score is not doing this for you, but these are amazing books. As a matter of fact, I went back to keep it to make sure that they are really going to sell in the next month. And he would have like lost out on a ton of money if you just believe just on this one app instead of actually looking on Keepa. And so I circled these books for him, told him to send those in, and he's well on his way now. So what basically the moral of that story is, don't always just listen to that scanning app, right? You got to really look at Keepa a little bit more. And I think I helped him out a ton. I mean, he's going to make probably a few $1,000s off this pallet instead of maybe a couple $100. So
how cool would it be if you could just download all the sales data from Amazon all time for all sellers and then put it into like an AI machine that would like predict what the likelihood of a book is actually going to sell for based on all the sales history in the past? I mean, maybe Keepa kind of has some of that data, but if you got it from Amazon, actual sales data for different sellers, like different times a year, that'd be valuable.
That would be crazy, but I don't know if Amazon will let us have that data, right? So we'd have to have a really huge database. But Joji and I are trying to find the intrinsic value. That's what BookMine has really been doing, is finding this data and then trying to establish a intrinsic value, and then whether or not the price is lower than the intrinsic value. And if it's substantially lower, that's why we show it on BookMine. And we're working on it every day. Matter of fact, last night we felt like we had a breakthrough of it. So we had we added some additional variances and other calculations that we think we got even closer to establishing the real value of a book.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
For a beginner, would you suggest to order books to home or send over to prep?
I mean, for me, you definitely got to send your first 400 or 500 books to your house, right? That at least one real like textbook season, if you're into textbooks, you got to do that yourself so that you can understand the system. You can understand how great GoToLister is. So you can like really figure out your, whether or not you're profiting off these books. And then maybe after, say, 6 months to a year, get a prep center and then go from there. Because like you can start scaling after that. But initially you got to see your own books, see what's happening to them, because there's nothing better than you actually doing it. You actually seeing, okay, when I buy a book from Thrift Books, do they rate their books correctly or not? And being able to see them yourself is the best way forward. So definitely,
I think the biggest ROI on shipping books to your house is just fast turnaround. You get them out instantly. You don't have to rely on a warehouse. It might take a few weeks. They might be backed up. They might lose your book. But prepping yourself, there's definitely that in-house. Like I've had multiple times in my Amazon selling career where I'm like, I'm never using a prep center again, just because like it took them way too long. It took them like 4 weeks to get something out when it should have been out a week. And then like the price goes down, the price tanks. Or I've had bad experience. I've had prep centers, Tiger Lily Prep. TigerLilyPrep.com, guys. Definitely don't go there. They literally were like a what's it called? Like a mobile home in the middle of Montana. And it was me doing online arbitrage and a bunch of other online arbitrage people. John Side Hustle Experiment was the one that told me about it. So it's all his fault. Somebody drove to the prep center and
Okay.
found that they had a bunch of Kohl's boxes outside in the open, no tarp or anything over them. And so the rain, if it rains in Montana, which I don't think it rains often, but if it did rain, everybody's inventory would have gotten wet and trashed. That's probably my worst prep center experience was that. But even like good prep centers I have, like kudos to you and Joji for sharing your prep centers so much publicly online, but that's like not a common thing to do in the wholesale space, in the online arbitrage space, because so many times people will overload a prep center and then, you know, they're caught up. So
because once you do that, then that prep center isn't as good. Right. Go ahead. Sorry.
These prep centers I know they're damn good. I know Little Owl Prep. They've been backed up a few times, but Central Virginia Prep, I've actually never heard anything bad about them.
Yeah, either. I've never actually used them, but tons of people talk about them really great. Joji uses her, so great company.
And they'll be at Books and Beyond.
They will.
So they're showing their faces to the crowd. So that's always a good sign, you know, when business owners are willing to meet their clients. So anyway.
Yeah, and you know, a prep center helps you scale. So that's really why you got to use them and work with them. So one of my prep centers right now is taking a little bit longer to ship in these books. I'm like, okay, it's textbook season now. Can you please send them in now? Like, you know, I'm actually sending out some emails asking for that. That's not
what's exciting.
But,
Go-To Lister is going to have 2D barcodes pretty soon, and apparently they get checked in faster.
Yeah.
So the next week we should have 2D barcodes. So we're going to try to work with prep centers to use Go-To Lister so they can affix the 2D barcodes, because you can't make 2D barcodes on Amazon. And then, like if you're trying to get Christmas books active really fast, apparently they get checked in faster. That's what the community's been saying. So we'll see.
That's cool. Yeah.
Found it. Would you mind looking at this one just for clarity? What do you recommend? Yeah, sure. Drop in the chat.
Yeah.
Would you say now is a good time to search for Halloween books and send them?
Yeah. Halloween books, Christmas books. This is a great time to be buying those now. It's not a great time to be buying high school and college books. It's almost peak season for them. So you're going to be buying these books at really sky high prices to try to sell them slightly higher than that. So like that season's basically done. The next season up is like, you know, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, even beginning January books, like, you know, losing weight books and goal focus books actually do really well in January. So those are the books that I'm purchasing now. Yeah.
I think he wants you to look at a book, but I don't see it. Whoever the Gene.
Yeah, I think it's because I've tried to do this on the other side. When you're posting 10 digits, it like backs it out. So I'm thinking you're gonna have to put like, you know, 6 of the ISBN number and then the additional 4 or something like that to get it through. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Bob says I have a Prime personal account and seller account. Can I buy with my seller account and sell with my Prime account and not violate Amazon policy, or do I need a third account?
Yeah, me and Joji are about to make a video about this, or maybe Avery, if you want to make a video about that. So tons of people ask us the same question. I don't know why we never made a video about it. If you have a Prime account, like you are paying the $40 a month for your Prime account, you can still buy merchant fulfilled books. So any book that is merchant fulfilled where you're still having to pay $3.99, that's 100% all right. Like you can do that. If you're trying to buy a book that's in Prime shipping, you can't use that and resell it. So what you have to do is either establish a secondary account. So like my wife's account, I'll go and buy off of her account, or I'll just you know, basically not use Prime shipping. So I'll like buy like 3 or 4 books all together and then use the free shipping once I get to $25 and ship those books that way. So yeah, that's the way to do that.
Big shout out to, I'm going to call you Connor.
Yeah.
6 Honor. I have grown my Amazon to Amazon business to 10K per month. Congrats.
That's awesome.
I want to do 20K, and I feel like I cannot find more than 15 good books a day. I use Keepa and BookMine. Any tips? That's a great question. One thing I will comment, this is kind of like meta, but I do think that in any business at a certain point, I think it's like a biological thing. We think that we capped out the source for the day. So like if you're at a library sale and you're scanning, at some point your brain's like, enough. Like everyone else is leaving, everyone else is checking out, and you're like, your brain's like, okay, we squeezed every possible piece of profit or profit out of this library. That's something that happens, and it's not true. You could scan the non-barcode books. You could ask for backroom access. You could scan the books that have not been scanned, or you could scan you could scan every single book and probably pull out a lot more profit. But it's like a weird thing in our brains and think that we've kind of milked it. I get that way with content. I'm like, I've already made every piece of content I could. And then I sit down and I think, I'm like, no, there's like 2 million pieces of content I could make. So
it's just a mindset. It's where you're
yeah.
at, right? So let's just say you showed up to that same library sale at that same point where you're thinking there's nothing left, but you just showed up. You would find creative ways to find other books, and that's the thing with like BookMine and Keepa. You just have to like start sourcing in different ways. So like say look for books that are over $100. Like go use the filters and look at just specifically those books, or books that are only under $10 and look for those books. And there's just so many different options. I literally limit myself to 30 books because there's just so many more books than that. But like I got other things to do. Like I want to buy those books and do other things. Like I don't have a VA.
30 books?
What happened?
How long does it take you to find 30?
Like less than an hour. So majority of the time
we got to shoot a video like that. Let's just shoot a video where you just try to find books live.
Why not?
Sourcing. Find that'd be a good video. And other videos you guys want, drop below. So me and Victor are about to shoot some videos. So I've how to make 100K a year doing online arbitrage books. That'll be a good one. Live sourcing, finding how many books can Victor find in an hour or something like that.
Now this is with BookMine, right? With Keepa, it's going to be longer because with Keepa, I'm having to turn down like of every 10 books, I probably find one. On BookMine, I'm probably finding like five of the 10 I'm finding is as profitable. So I'm buying those books. So it's much easier just be like, okay, I would buy this book. Okay, not this one, and stuff like that. So
this person's really trying to get this book analyzed, but I'm not seeing any comment other than this comment. So I'm sorry. Despite looking at the data, sometimes it's hard to make a decision. Does software like BookMine have a feature that literally instruct you to buy it?
So that's the thing that's kind of like illegal, right? You can't just like you're buying the software. I can't tell you, hey, this is what you're going to make.
It's like that's all the books from Victor's store. Oh, buy this book, buy this book.
That part's kind of like you really can't do that. You can't in any system can't tell somebody, oh, you're definitely guaranteed to make money off of this, right? I can tell you all the books that have showed up on BookMine, they're highly likely to be profitable, but I can't tell you guaranteed. So the books that are on there, especially the ones that say like great price, that we already did the calculations behind the scenes. All the algorithms are there. If we tell you it's a great price, just go more than likely go and look at it one last time to make sure there isn't something that I'm not seeing or that the calculations aren't seeing and buy the book. I mean, it's that simple.
Do you guys offer affiliate links for GoToLister, BookMine, and
Heck
100%. You can go to gotolister.com. What is it /Victor?
Yeah. I think it's just straight up Victor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see if that's right. Gotolister.com. This will get you a 30-day trial if you do this.
Yeah.
Victor. I think it's Victor G.
Okay, Victor G. Okay.
/Victor G. And then no, we don't have affiliate links for Books and Beyond. That's our conference. We're all hosting together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you guys go to gotolister.com if you want to support Victor, and then go /Victor G.
Yeah.
That'll give you a 30-day trial to the fastest listing software on the planet. So just go here.
Yeah.
And you'll be good to go.
And sign up from there.
For BookMine, if you guys want an extended trial, just go to any of my videos I posted recently about online arbitrage, and I have a BookMine link.
And I think that's pretty awesome because like with a 20-day free trial, basically, the software is like $140. So we're basically giving you guys like $70 for free. Just go out and try BookMine, at least for those 20 days, buy some books, get the proof of concept, and then you decide whether or not it's worth it for you.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Like if it's like people asking me, should I use the Amazon Seller app or should I use Scout IQ?
Right.
Well, it's like it's a free trial, and one app is way faster. Mm-hmm. It's going to tell you if the book's profitable or not. Like with BookMine, it's going to show you the profitable books. It's going to make the whole experience more enjoyable. It's going to make it more fun. You're going to make more money, and you can cancel it if you don't like it. If you're like, oh, this doesn't work, you might as well do it. Like you might as well give yourself the best chance to make money in online arbitrage books instead of making it hard. starting out with no software that's going to optimize it for you. That's at least my.
Yeah, and also you're going to see the most profitable books on BookMine, right? You're going to be able to see, okay, that's a profitable book, that's a profitable book. At least you'll be able to spot those. Like you'll be able to get like this pattern down. And even if you don't go with BookMine anymore, like you decide, okay, after the 20 days, I'm good. at least now when you go back to Keepa, you'll be able to see, hey, that pattern looks the same that I just saw on BookMine. Okay, let me go ahead and buy that book. So it helps you in that way too, because it'll tell you, hey, this is the book you should be buying. We rate books based on how profitable they are, and we give them a BookMine score of like 4 to 10. And basically go and look at all the 9s and 10s, and then those books are definitely the books you should be purchasing. And when you go back to Keepa, you'll be able to see that same type of pattern. Anyway.
I'm trying to find the video on how to get free UPS labels for life. I have it somewhere on my channel. If you just call them and set up a business account, though, you can set up free UPS labels, but it's not gonna. It's just 4x6, just shipping labels. So it's not book labels. So yeah.
I also have a free UPS.
But they won't work with Dymo. The UPS labels won't, unless you get an older Dymo. If it's an older version, which they charge more for now, but if it's a newer version, I tried it and it'll just Dymo needs that spacer. And if you don't have the spacer, you don't have that little hole in the label, it'll just keep printing them out. So I'd probably just get Dymo branded 4x6 labels, save yourself time. Or move to America and get a Rollo. Garage sale will start to dry up this year. So looking at OA, I find this is necessary. Yeah. Get after it, George.
Highly scalable. That's the best part of this whole thing. Yeah. You can like source at 3 a.m, if you wanted to.
We have somebody in the chat doing $10,000 a month in sales. So you guys have no excuses. Get out there, get after it. That's why I'm bringing Victor on the channel, to inspire you guys, because I know a lot of you guys have actually paid money for education on this, or maybe you've just been watching the channel, and I want you guys to take action, start making some money. So looks like you guys are making money, so that's good. What's the link for the BookMine trial? Look, just go to my channel. Last video, it's in the affiliate. It's in the YouTube description. For a beginner, I see a question. Rome, you had a question. I see it sold between $50. Right now it's listed $150. Oh, we want to look at this book real quick?
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah, let's pop this up. Do you have it?
Oh, me? Oh, okay, cool. Hold on a second.
Or I can pop it up. Are you going to type it in?
Yeah, sure. Let me do that.
073.
Wait. 073
948.
948. Okay, yeah, 0243. Okay, give me a second. Not yet. All right, I'm gonna go to Keepa.
And then let me know when you're ready. I'll pop it on the screen.
I'm just like putting in the Keepa right now. Okay, cool. I'm going to present my screen.
Yep.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right, let's check out this book, right?
Yep.
All right, so it's a longer tail book. So I'm not sure if you bought it online arbitrage way or you just find it at a thrift store, but you definitely found a great book. So what I'm looking at this book, right? The first thing I'm doing is seeing a snapshot of a year, and what I'm looking for is there any patterns? And right away, I don't see a pattern, right? I just see sales just happening randomly through the year. So I'd call this an all year round book that actually sells quite a bit. So this book sold for $2.99. There's actually a proven track record there at $2.99. It did sell over here at $199, and it sold over here for $150. So I'd say if you want to sell it like guaranteed to sell or very close to guaranteed to sell this book in the next, say 6 months, I'd sell it for $150, right? Go and put the price at $150. If you're trying to like, I'm cool even if it sells in the next, instead of 6 months, the next year, that's where I'd probably charge like $199, where this guy did, this person at $199.95. And then it'll probably sell sometime in the next year instead of the next 6 months. So guaranteed $150. If you're trying to do $199, it'll probably sell in the next year. So that's what I would do with a book like that. And congrats, you got a really expensive book. You're probably going to have to hold on to it for a few months, but that's some good money. Yeah, there you go.
Sweet. All right, we'll get a few more questions, and then
that was cool.
Gonna get out of here. Romy says, "Thanks, Romer. Appreciate you."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If I'm getting to sell textbooks on Amazon, should you still buy it to sell on other sites that offer cash?
Okay, so you're gated on the book. Go check them. I think Romer, aren't you like now sponsored by
Books
Books
Run.
Run. Yeah,
Yep.
I would definitely go and check the ISBN number from Books Run to see if it's counterfeit. Like it'll tell you whether or not you can check that. And if it's not, I mean, then go and try to sell it on eBay or wherever else. And if it is counterfeit, I'd probably just throw it away. I'd dispose of it because you really don't want counterfeit books in the system. Because it could be traced back to you, and then you could end up try to get sued by the publishers and stuff, and you don't want that to happen. So
Yeah.
that's what my recommendation is.
Yeah, and if you're really scared of it being counterfeit and it's profitable, you can always send it to restrictedinventory.com.
Grind hard, well done, sir, and welcome.
And we will check it for you. And we have a warehouse that vets for counterfeit books. We've been visited by the brand. I say we, my partner.
Yeah.
And all the books are sold on his Amazon account. So that's a really good service if you come across like a physical haul of books, like maybe a Gaylord of books, or you're at a thrift store and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a $170 book. I can't sell it on Amazon. I don't want to sell it on eBay just in case. Send it our way and we'll sell it for you if it's not counterfeit. So we have tons of copies, like basically like all the commonly counterfeit textbooks. The warehouse like a actual copy of the book so they can compare the most commonly counterfeited books against actual editions. So Amazon trusts the account.
Yeah, I think it's actually pretty smart.
Yeah, we never take more than $20. So if you send us a $100 profit book, you get 80 and we keep 20. If you send us a $20 book, we split the bread 50-50, $10 a piece. So restrictedinventory.com. Goodwill outlet and half price is 40 cents a pound.
Okay.
Half price is 40 cents a pound. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how much money you're making from those type of books. I mean,
you can find good books during the outlet days. Like they'll just it's all raw material, so you'll find like $100 profit books for like 40 cents.
You know what I'm really excited about for people who are doing like Goodwill outlets is Whatnot, and I know you've kind of interviewed a few people already that way, and a couple of people are actually going to be speakers that just do Whatnot, and I think there's a lot of opportunities there. They can make money off of a $5 book. They actually make like $4 or $4.50 out of a $5 book on Whatnot. So that's definitely
Whatnot. I mean, if you have a bunch of duds and the duds are like cool looking duds, they have cool covers, maybe they're fiction, like you can make a lot of money on Whatnot. Like pay attention to my channel, guys. I have a bunch of videos dropping about Whatnot over the next few days. I've been interviewing people, but it's fucking exciting. Like
you should also consider getting Resell Maven on your channel.
We were gonna do an interview 2 days ago, but she had something come up, so we're gonna shoot. But I shot one.
She's really killing it. Yeah, she's like, I've sold like what $100,000 and made like $90,000 in profit or something. Like it's crazy the ROI that she has versus even what I'm doing. Like I'm over here bragging how much
Max made $400 profit in one show. Now, granted, Max is like a rare book expert. His whole house is just filled with books, so he's not like a normal person. It's not like you can't. It's not comparing. Don't compare yourself to him because you're probably you probably have like a bunch of just random books around the house, but you could still probably make $100 a show if you put the work in. I think it's exciting. Junkman says Book Scouter or Books Run. They're both good websites, but Books Run is the official sponsor of my channel for next year, and they have the Books Run counterfeit calculator, so go check that out. And they oftentimes I've been seeing them really pop up a lot on Book Scouter. Book Scouter filters all the buyback vendors and puts the highest bid at the top, and Books Run's been up there a lot lately.
They've been more active, and they've contacted me, and I was asking for the API of their counterfeit checker, and they said they don't have that yet. So if and when they do, that's gonna be awesome for the community, right? Because we're gonna be able to put that into our scaps and scanning apps and our bookmine and stuff. So
nice. How do you assess the accuracy of signed books? You know anything about that?
Not so much. That's more of a Max question. But if it has a little sticker that says this book is signed, then definitely know that's signed by the author.
I just keep stickers that say officially signed by author. So I stamp them on every book before I send them in. That way all books look scanned or look signed. I'm just kidding, guys.
I don't know about that, but
one person's gonna like actually take me seriously and come back a month later and be like, my account's
there was a book that I just saw, Goldfinch. I don't know. It's if it's signed by the author, it's $100 book. If it's not signed by the author, it's $12. I'm like, that's crazy. And that's you can make that difference in price on like Whatnot. They'll sell that book for $100 and Whatnot, If it's not signed, it's $12. And I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, it
Just
is.
learned that. Yeah.
All right, Victor, thanks for coming on. We're gonna shoot some videos behind the scenes, and
Yeah.
everyone, happy Saturday. Peace.
Yeah. Let's go.